What is up, you guys? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I can't believe we are at the end of the year. That's crazy. Today we are going to be doing something I have never done before on this channel. I am going to be tier ranking the movies that I watched this year. I don't think I've ever delved into my love for movies on this channel before. I'm not that person who's like crazy about movies, but I've always been a fan of movies. Ever since I was a kid, like, I just get lost in a good movie. It doesn't even have to be good, but I'll get lost in it if, like, the story, like, connects with me in any way. And this year, I've, like, really branched out, I think, with the type of movies I watch. Because usually, in the past, I was the type of person that I would only watch a movie for two reasons. One, like, it sounded good. Like, the plot sounded good. Something I would want to watch. Or two, like, it had an actor that I really liked in it. And I still did that this year, but I also tried to, like, branch out in the sense that I would, like, watch movies of specific directors because they directed it, because I wanted to get to know more about the director, or because I loved some of their previous work. So I did that a lot. That was the big thing, I think. And then I also went to the movies by myself. We'll get to that later when I'm going through my review. But that was so fun. It was my first time doing that and I loved it. We are going to just get into it right away. Let me walk you through my tier rankings. So I watched about like 80 movies this year, I think. I have to check my letterbox, which you guys should follow me. I love that app. It's kind of like Pinterest in the sense that it's a social media app, but I'm not really on there for the socials. I watched 82 films so far, and we're at the beginning of December, so I'll probably watch a couple more, but I don't think I'm gonna watch many more this year. But anyway, my rankings, my tiers, at the top we have We Come to This Place for Magic, because I went to AMC so much this year, and I have that Nicole Kidman ad playing through my head at all times, and to me, this represents, like, you know, movies are magic. And these are the movies, these were, like, the best movies that I watched this year. My 5-star ratings, the ones that just, like, really connected with me for one reason or another. Next, we have That One Girl That Doesn't Joke About Rom-Coms, because I am her. Before this year, that was probably, like, my favorite genre of movies. It's the one that I still gravitate towards the most, because, like, when I want to watch something, I want to feel good. And nothing's gonna do that quicker than a 2000s rom-com. The next one is Am I ... a film bro? Because I watched a lot of quote-unquote film bro movies this year. You know, the ones that are like, that have that reputation of being film bro movies, and you're like, ugh, I don't want to watch that because it probably sucks if they like it, right? Plot twist, turns out I love a lot of those movies. I know people who like actually watch movies, they're like, duh, they're good movies. But for those of us who've only heard about these movies from the perspective of like why film bros love it, it was shocking to me. But they're so good. More into that later. The next one is rewatch. This was a weird category. I didn't know where to put it in because I'm actually gonna add one more category right here. Because I rewatched a lot of movies this year, and I didn't want to make it like rank them as if they are completely new, because some of the movies I rewatch them because they're like amazing and I love them. But some movies, sometimes you just rewatch a movie because you want to watch it, you know, and it's not even a good movie. So that's why it's its own category. Next, under that, we have films with family. These are the movies that I mostly watch like with my brother, but like with family, with friends, where like it wasn't either good or bad, but it just like didn't have an impact on me, so it kind of goes into its own category where it's like, it was good, but whatever. Next is No Comment. Yeah. And then finally is Objectively Bad, which, let's get into it. I'm so excited for this. I've been looking forward to this all year long. The very first movie that I watched in 2023 was Countdown. It was something about like, you get this app on your phone that tells you when you're gonna die, and then like it's like a horror movie. This movie was terrible. I don't remember anything about it. besides that like basic premise, but I remember being so pissed off that this was the first movie I watched of the year. It was so bad. Next, I rewatched Aladdin, the live action version. I watched it in theaters originally, and like, yeah, you can have a lot of critiques about this one, but it's just, I've always loved Aladdin. It's been like one of my top 3 favorite Disney movies. So, and I remember the first time I watched it in theaters, like the live action, when Naomi Scott sings Speechless. Oh, the tears I had. Oh my god, so good. And then I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched this one with my family, I believe. I watched it with my siblings because this was like all the way in 2022. But unfortunately, I think it was hyped up a little bit too much for me. That's why I like watching movies when they first come out before you hear everybody else's expectations. It was good. It was really good. It just wasn't for me. I don't think the whole like multiverse thing isn't for me. Like, yeah, it's cute, the whole like in another life I would have loved to just do taxes and laundry with you. That does get me. And the relationship between the mom and the daughter, oh, kills me. But at the same time, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna watch that movie again. And I don't know, there was something about the pacing of it just wasn't for me. Next, I watched the rom-com Friends with Benefit. I watched a lot of movies in January, by the way. I think like I watched like 12 movies in January alone, but that's off topic. But yeah, I watched Friends with Benefits. This is technically a rom-com, but I think I'm gonna put it in no comment because it just doesn't deserve to be in the actual rom-com category. It wasn't that good. I like I need another category up here that's like, it was okay. Okay, I'm gonna make another category that's just 3-star, and that's like your average movies, you know, like it was okay, whatever, we move. And the next movie is gonna go in there, I think, is Ingrid Goes West. I'm obsessed with movies about people who are obsessed, which is whatever. And this falls into that line, obvious. Actually, this one was I think this was a good movie. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that doesn't go there. I actually did like it. Never mind, I'm sorry. I just remembered, I love movies about people that are obsessed. I think it's just so fascinating the way you can watch somebody like just absolutely lose it, especially when it's about another person or like people in general, and that's what this movie is. It was good though. I liked it. Oh, I rewatched The Grand Budapest Hotel. I remember, this is random, but I was watching this while I was making gnocchi, and that was such a vibe. That was so fun. That's a good movie. Like, that's such a wintry movie. Like, you rewatch that in the winter. Now I'm like, it's December. I'm like, ooh, it's time to watch that again. And then I watched The Menu twice. So good. Like I just told you, I'm obsessed with obsession. People who are obsessed. And this movie does that, but this is also like satire and like making fun of the rich, and like that's all my favorite things. That's all my favorite things. And Nicholas Hoult, that scene where the chef like whispers into his character's ear, and his facial expressions, that will haunt me for the rest of my life. That was so good. I love this movie. I watched it twice. I rarely ever watch movies twice in theaters, so that's how you know it's really good. I need to rewatch that movie now that I think about it. And then I was on my Anya Taylor-Joy kick. I watched Last Night in Soho, and I absolutely love this one too. This is so good. It was so pretty, and like the music, oh, loved it. Then I watched Barbarian. I'm not a big horror movie fan, but that one was I think it was pretty good. It was very scary, but like, again, like I'm not gonna rewatch that ever, but it was fine the one time I did. And then I watched Enola Holmes 1 and 2 with my brother. These movies are so good. I don't know why. I was addicted. Like, it was so fun to watch. Like, me and him were like, we're waiting on that third one. Chop, chop, chop. So good. Another one I watched was See How They Run. This was another one I watched with family. I can't remember who, but it was just you know? I honestly don't remember it very well. Maybe I should put that in no comment. Yeah, that's more no comment. Like, I literally don't remember it. It wasn't very interesting to me. Then I randomly watched the Downton Abbey movie. I had not watched Downton Abbey, the show, before this. I just literally randomly chose that one night. I watched it. I was obsessed. It was so good. I started watching the show after that. I'm on like season 3 now. I never finished it, but so good. And what's Sybil and the Irish dude's relationship? It's even more tragic since I watched the movie first. Like, I know what's coming. I'm so scared to get there, but I'm so in love with them. Then apparently I watched High School Musical 3. That was definitely with my siblings, but I don't know why we chose the third one. Another rewatch was Harry Potter. Oh, that should have gone to rewatch, sorry. Yeah, Harry Potter, the first one. Randomly watched it. Then I watched Notting Hill. Guys, I had never watched a Hugh Grant movie before this, but this altered my brain chemistry. Are we kidding? So good. He looks so good in that movie. And Julia Roberts, oh, nobody does it like her. Oh, and then I watched Persuasion, the 2022. That's objectively bad. Like, how can you do that to a Jane Austen story? It's crazy. Every time I think back to it, I'm like, how is everyone involved in that project not embarrassed? And then I watched Emma. This was after I read the novel, and I loved it so much. It was so good. And this is so beautifully filmed. It might be one of my favorite films of all times, actually. It's so good. You guys all need to watch it. Okay, this is crazy because I watched Emma and then the next 2 films I'm going to talk about all in the same day. 3 movies back to back to back, and I loved every single one of them. I don't know where to put Anna Karenina though, because I did really, actually, I think I might put it in We Come to This Place for Magic. Like, every time I think about it, more of the storyline, I think. But that was good. That was really good. I bought the book afterwards. It's like 800 pages long. I have not started it yet, but it's sitting on my shelf taunting me every day, so. And then I watched Gone Girl. I can't believe I waited until the year of 2023 to watch this. This was so good. I love David Fincher. I'd seen some of his films before this, I think. Before this, I had only watched Zodiac by Fincher. Actually, no, I watched The Curious Case of Benjamin Button too. Again, like I said, before this year, I didn't really focus on directors, so I didn't really know anything about him. I didn't care. But this movie, it altered everything. Immediate favorite director. Immediately. The switch up halfway into the movie where, you know, that scene, I don't want to spoil it, I know it's like 10 years old, but the car scene and just how everything just like that halfway through, that's another thing I realized is, like, I love when movies there's like a noticeable shift and it's like a plot twist right in the middle of the movie. It's like instant and the entire vibe of the movie changes, whether it's because of like the pacing or something. I had to go help my sister with something and then I completely lost my train of thought. I think we were on Gone Girl. Long story short, amazing, show-stopping, best movie ever. Ben Affleck plays that part so well. Okay, next I watched the Harry Potter 20-year anniversary. That's just gonna go in no comment. I mean, I think I watched that with my roommate in college. Either that or with my brother, but anyway. The Duff. I don't even remember this movie, but I'm gonna go on objectively bad because you know how bad a movie has to be for me to not remember a single thing. But yeah, I watched that because it was falsely advertised to me as fake dating. There's no fake dating in that. That is my favorite trope, and I hate when people misuse. And then I watched Triangle of Sadness because I heard on the reviews for the menu, everybody's like, this is like Triangle of Sadness, but worse. I watched it. It was okay. The menu was better in my opinion, but although I almost want to put this in Am I a Film Bro because like it low-key feels like it could be. No, it's not. But 3 stars feels not enough either. No, 3 stars is okay. Oh, I watched the Teen Wolf movie. That was objectively bad. Bones and All is gonna go in 3 stars for me. It was okay, but yeah, that's it. The Favorite is no comment. That was another movie where I was like, what am I watching? I was just like waiting to get through it. Same with Ant-Man, I just don't really remember it. 2 Weeks Notice sucked, but I love rom-coms. And Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant in a workplace romance together is so good. So good. What even is this? Twilight. This would be a rewatch. Is that New Moon? I watched both. I don't know. Where's the other Twilight? I watched the first and the second one with my roommates. But I don't see the first one on here, but just know that I watched that one too. And then, okay, these are all gonna be rewatches. When The Hunger Games came on Netflix, I watched all of them, and tell me why I was bawling like a baby watching these. As a kid, I didn't realize just how intense those movies are, but wow. Oh, I watched Julie and Juliet. This is such a like feel-good movie, and I almost want to put it into that one girl that doesn't joke about rom-coms, because it's very like rom-com-esque, rom-com adjacent, but it's just a feel-good movie. So if you ever like want to like feel like a warm hug, watch that movie. Do Revenge. Okay, this is hard because I really loved it, but I don't want to put it into the first category. But it's not really a rom-com either. I'm gonna put it in 3 stars, but it was like better than, it was more like a 4-star movie. It was so good. This is another movie where it like switches right in the middle when like plot twist, you know. Very good. What is this? Final Destination 5. This is gonna go in 3 stars too. I watched that with my friend again, but yeah, those movies terrify me. The first one, after I watched the first one, I was so terrified to go on a plane. I only watched the first, second, and 5th one though, so. To all the boys I've loved before, this was a rewatch, but it should be in the first category, honestly. It's one of the best movies of all time. I love that story so much. Like the book, that book was everything to me in high school. Okay, here is where my film bro journey began, with Fight Club. Like I said, I was on my David Fincher kick this year, and this movie was so good. I know a lot of people like talk about the plot twist at the end. Unfortunately, I guessed it from a mile away. If I had watched this like 5 years earlier, I probably would have been more blown away by that plot twist, but it felt very... I could see it coming, you know? I could see it coming, just because I feel like I watch a lot of these types of movies to where it made sense that that was coming. But it was still really good. I love really long movies, which is something I never thought I would say, but I don't even remember how long this movie is, but it felt like 3 hours to me. That might be a lie, but it felt like 3 hours, but in a good way, you know? I love a movie where like you can spend your entire afternoon watching it. That's so fun. This is the beginning of the Am I a Film Bro genre, because I realized film bros are so stupid. Because what do you mean you find Tyler Durden relatable? That's not the point, you idiot. I'm not gonna, let's move on, because I'm not gonna. I watched Sleepless in Seattle. Ah, that was so good. This was my first time watching it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is so good. I might rewatch it actually. It was good. Boss Baby. I watched this with my brother. We watched the most random stuff together, I swear to god. He loves this movie though, but it was like, okay, whatever. Bridget Jones's Diary, another movie I watched from Hugh Grant. So good. I can't believe he was the villain in this. They Can Never Make Me Hate You. 7. Oh, this movie was so good. This movie was so good. I almost want to put it in the first category, but this is another, I feel like this is another film bro movie. But no, it's gonna go in the first category. It's gonna go in the first category because I think it might be one of my favorite movies of all time too. Speaking of favorite movies of all time, Sense and Sensibility 1995 altered my brain chemistry. Like, as I was watching the movie, I could feel my neurons like moving around, and they would never be the same ever again. Tangling up. Hugh Grant as Edward whatever Perez, that's his name. Emma Thompson's performance in this, The ultimate eldest daughter. Oh, I love it so much. I watched it like 3 times this year alone. I just put it on anytime I'm feeling sad. I put this movie on and it's like, it's a hug. Oh, I love this movie so much. Okay, rewatch Sinister. I watched this with my brother though, but it was a rewatch. It was really funny watching it with him. He's like, I want to watch a scary movie, and then he was like freaking out while watching this. Oh, so annoying. Kindergarten Cop. I watched this with my brother as well. This was pretty fun. Like, if you want a family movie, that one wasn't too bad. Bride Wars. This is gonna go under rewatch because I'd seen it before. I could barely remember anything about it, but rewatch. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I watched this last year, and then I watched it this year with my siblings. They liked it. Barbie. Okay. For me, Barbie's going into the 3-star category. It was a good film. I loved it for what it was, but a lot of the themes, a lot of the messages that it had are just ones that I've been exposed to for a very long time. So it wasn't as revolutionary for me as it may be like some other people or like some really young girls, but I do think it was good for what it was, and it was fun, and going to watch it was actually such a good experience. Like, I remember driving to the theaters and like I got emotional seeing how packed the parking lot was, because I hadn't seen it like that in like 10 years, I think, which is crazy. So that was really fun. I watched Red, White, and Royal Blue. That was good. That was good. The guy that plays the president's daughter, president's son, that was good. That was really good, actually. Rewatched Rush Hour and Rush Hour 2 with my brother. He loves those movies. I watched Knock at the Cabin. This is going into no comment. Apparently this is based on a book too. When I was reading the reviews, that I wasn't a big fan of the ending, and apparently they changed it from what the ending in the book was, and the ending in the book felt more interesting to me. I think it explored some of the themes that they were trying to get at more, and to change it feels a bit cowardly. Elvis. This was at the beginning of the year when I wanted to watch all the movies that were nominated for Best Picture. I think I gave up after Elvis. It was just, no. I don't remember anything about it. Orca. This is an Iranian movie I watched with my parents, but it was so good. It's about this girl that basically wants to join like the national swimming team or Olympics team or something, but they won't let her. They're like, we don't have a women's team, something like that. I don't remember. I have really bad memory now that I'm realizing it. But she like trains by herself basically and beats like the Guinness record for farthest swim, something like that. It was good. Then I watched this, what was this movie called? Renfield? Was that what it's called? I think it's gonna go under no comment. It was And then I watched The Killer by David Fincher. So good. I didn't get it at first, but the more and more I thought about it, I was like, wait, I really like that movie. I think David Fincher does not get enough credit for how funny he is, in my opinion. And then I watched Colors of the Flower Moon. Fun fact, I have never watched a Scorsese film before this. This was my first one. And I mean, you didn't disappoint at all. Oops, wrong one. It's going into the top category. It was so good. I was so emotional in that theater. Yeah, I think that's like a movie everyone needs to watch. Absolutely everybody. I watched My Best Friend's Wedding. I had never seen this before. This one's so good. She is so funny. I'm genuinely one of the most evil main characters ever, and I supported every single decision she made, because why is her 28-year-old friend marrying a 21-year-old like who's still in college? Ugh. Call Me by Your Name is going into no comment for me. I think it's boring. I know, I'm sorry, but it's just not for me. Same with Frances Ha. I tried it. I wanted to like it so bad, but the themes just didn't click for me, even though you would think they would, because it's like very much like a struggling artist trying to find themselves when like it feels like everything was always going wrong and having to like compare yourself with everybody else in your life, but it just didn't do it for me. Oppenheimer. This is the first movie I have ever watched alone in theaters, and it was so worth it. So worth it. This movie changed me. This is another movie I watched twice in theaters. It's so good. I saw it on IMAX. Like I get chills thinking about it. I wish I could, they need to make this like a permanent movie theater showing. Like, I should be able to go every weekend to watch this. It's so good. There were so many times when, like, it literally felt like the wind was being knocked out of my body because of the choices that they made. It's crazy. So good. I love Nolan. And then, which one is this? I watched both of the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movies. That's gonna go with the family. But is this the first one or the second one? I can't tell, but the first one's gonna go in with family, but I think the second one was so good. It was so good. Me and my brother watched it in theaters, and I've never been a big fan of like animation where like appreciating the art that goes into it. And the comments I made about multiverse before with Everything Everywhere All at Once, completely scratch that for this film, because I think multiverse stories can be told in animation, because with that you can like see the different styles in the universes, and it like makes more sense to me, you know, which was really cool. I'm just obsessed. I can't wait for the next one. So good. Me and my brother watched Murder Mystery 2. We watched the first one last year. It's chill. It's fun. Pulp Fiction. No comment. No comment. That's a film bro movie that I'll just never get. Guardians of the Galaxy, going into no comment. I've actually not seen the two prior to this. I watched this with my friend in the theater. It was good, but like, you know. Wolf of Wall Street was so good. This was another one where I was like, am I the problem? Am I the problem? I just might be, but it was hilarious. Like, genuinely one of the funniest movies I have ever seen. I watched Love Actually the other week to get prepared for December, for the holiday season. This movie's crazy, actually, if you think about it. The worst part is the fact that they chose to cast Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson as siblings after they know the damage that was done to me with Sense and Sensibility. You can't do that. And then I watched the first two Spy Kids movies again with my brother. This, as a kid, this was like my favorite series of all time. I love that. School of Evil and Good, or whatever. Honestly, I think I watched that with family. I don't know. It was okay though. I was like in my fantasy era when I was watching that, because I usually wouldn't watch stuff like that. But Bottoms was good. This was hilarious. Sorry, it's going into the first category. Hilarious. There's really no other word for it. Every performance was so good. This movie pissed me off so bad. Next Goal Wins. I saw it in theaters. I was so annoyed. It was so bad. You know how bad a movie has to be? A movie about soccer has to be for me to hate it. It has to be bad, because I will watch anything soccer related. I also watched Saltburn. This is another movie I watched twice in theaters. I loved it. It's so good. I don't care what anybody says. I love it. So good. After watching it, I realized like Barry is one of those actors that I'd never realized before, but like I love everything I see him in. Everything. Banshees, Killing of Sacred Deer, The Eternals, his one line, my sweet Bacardi, changed me. But this is no different. He kills this role. I watched the new Hunger Games movie. So good. It might actually be my favorite in the entire series, because I think for me, this is obviously like a character study into who Snow was before he became the Snow that we knew, and it's so fascinating to me. But also just to see the Hunger Games in like its early form, it's just crazy. I'm reading the book right now and it makes me sick. Ooh, the way they like refer to people from the districts as animals a lot of the time, like that's like a series that's just, It's so good, but wow. And then last but not least, I'm definitely missing a couple movies. Yeah, because I only have 75 files, so I'm not sure which movies I'm missing. I'm definitely missing a couple though, but oh well. And then finally I watched A Man Called Otto. This was another like top movie for me. Well, I don't think it was a 5-star movie, but it was so good and I cried so bad. Oh, I can't think back to it. Oh my god. This is another like it's feel good and feel bad movie at the same time, and it was so good. I wish I hadn't ended on that. Now I'm depressed thinking back to that movie. But that is all the movies that I watched this year. This is my final tier ranking. Love it. Yeah, this was a good year for movies for me, I think, and I can't wait to watch more movies and hopefully go to the theater more in 2024 because it's a very fun activity I enjoy doing. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, what movies you saw in theaters this year, maybe what you think of my list. Please don't though, don't criticize it. I have the best taste in movies ever, so don't do that. And I will see you later. Bye.